All right. Where are we headed? Upward and onward. That's where we're headed. This is a time for us to really embrace and know the power that we truthfully possess. Because in the past, you might have been on your journey and you were almost like a robot. You were following the subconscious programs that you've had your entire life, and you weren't actually living your life to the fullest. Today, we're setting sail, we're in the light ship, and we're going to start living our life to the fullest. And we can't have excuses. It's very easy to make excuses, because this is how it's always been. This is how it's always been. This is just what happens for me. These are the stories that we tell ourselves on our journey. We're telling ourselves these stories, but these stories that we're telling ourselves, they're actually just subconscious programs, and you need to fix those subconscious programs. Years ago, I grew up in Brooklyn, and it's known that some people, they never leave the city. They never leave Brooklyn, but I had to rewrite the story. All right, I was a science teacher, teaching in the Department of Education, and some people refer to that as the golden handcuffs. And sometimes God gives us a storm, if you will, and what was familiar and comfortable, even though it's so familiar to you, it's so comfortable. This is the way that I'm supposed to live my life because everyone else does it this way. Well, sometimes the storms, the hardships that we go through, that's God, that's the universe releasing us. You might have had, ideas, visions that you've had. You said, "Oh, I want to do this with my life. I want to have this life experience," and you don't know how to go from A to B. You had to go from A to X to D to F, and then finally get to B, to finally get to your destination. Well, what's the destination? The destination is unknown. You have to feel for a vibe. You have to feel for a frequency, and that's what I do. You see, like, for example, I live in paradise, all right, down here in Florida, and there are places that people, this is the greatest beach. This is the greatest place in Florida. Everywhere, this is where you have to move to. This is where you have to go to. But to me, those places, they don't resonate with my soul. And what I need to do is I need to set forth, and I have to feel the frequency behind things. So today we're in the car and we're traveling ever onward to a place that resonates with my soul. It might not be the popular place. Not everyone rushes to go there, but through resonance, this is how we are to navigate our everyday life experience. I navigate through resonance, right? So through the resonance, I'm feeling the location. Like, for example, like people, I got this fancy condo in Miami. Oh, it's so great, it's so wonderful. But maybe, like for me, I don't want that. I don't want that at any price. I don't want to be in that circumstance. You could have a job, all right, which sometimes is just over broke, or it could be the golden handcuffs. And this is the job that we're supposed to have, because that's what society tells us. I got to have this job, or I have to do this thing. Well, when you let go and you feel through resonance, your health and wellness is going to improve. That's one of the most important parts of this journey of knowing that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. All right, and I've seen this. I've seen people they go for a job, making all this money, and then 2 years later it's falling apart. I see people make quick gains in the gym, all right, and then later in life, I don't know, they fell apart, they disappeared. I'm here to tell you that you have to treat life like the marathon that it actually is. All right, there's, some people, maybe you like the one hit wonder, one day, one thing, but what do you do on a consistent daily basis? That brings us into the quantum, because it's a signal, it's a frequency. Every day I'm emitting a frequency. I have to embrace that frequency. It don't happen overnight. And to really embrace it, you have to understand epigenetics. Epigenetics, above genetics. Your surroundings will dictate your reality. So I have to immerse myself in higher vibrational surroundings. I get in the car, I find the spots. Again, a lot of things are trial and error. Everything I do in my life is trial and error. All right? Try different spots, find the ones that resonate, the ones that don't, you don't go back. All right? Supplementation. All right? Like, I had to do a lot of trial and error. What are the things that work? What are the things that are BS? Okay, what doesn't work? Everything in your life, you have to have the first-hand experience. You have to grab hold, right? Grab hold. And you have to immerse yourself into the situation, the experience, whatever it is. Okay, first-hand, tangible experience. And this is how you sort. This is how you know what is truthful and what is not. And then you could go back and report to others. So whether it's a location, whether it's what you eat, drink, what you consume, right? What you consume. Eat, drink, watch, and listen to. You're just listening to me in the car. A lot of people just listen to me on the car. In the car. Now we're in the car today, taking you for a ride. Where you want to go? We're going upward and onward. That's where we're headed, kid. We're headed upward and onward. Every single day, we are striving. We are striving to become the best version of ourselves. So when we set forth, we want to improve what we do on a daily basis. And how do we do that? We make sure it's in alignment. How do we make sure we're in alignment? We don't tolerate things. There are things. What is in your life is because you tolerate it in your life. I've learned this the hard way, okay? And we all do. We all do. So when we start to sit back, say, you know what? Why does, this type of relationship creep up? Why does this... always happen, and I always wind up in these jobs that, X, Y, or Z, or whatever it is. Well, what are you going to tolerate? You have to know this. You have to take back your ownership of your life. Know that it's your life. And what are you tolerating? What are you not tolerating? People aren't going to like you. Okay? You might have to walk away from a job. You might have to do things that are going to trigger others. But you have one life to live. I also believe it was a tremendous soap opera years ago. One life to live. No, it's true. You got one life to live. What are you doing with it? And that's what I have to do. I can't live a fake life. Now, there are things in our lives that, because we're still going through a transition. When your frequency shifts, there's going to be a day in your life where you have an epiphany. Okay? It could be a Satori moment. It could be a Kensho moment. All right, so it could be an epiphany of, wow, this is so beautiful. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. And then you have that beautiful moment. And then from that moment, you start to create a shift. And you have something, you're like, this is the last time. This is the last time I'm ever going to deal with this BS in my everyday life. So these are the things that are going to shift us. So from that moment, your frequency will shift. Something clicks inside of you. And once that thing clicks inside, you start saying, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore, and it's never going to happen again because I'm living a fake life. Your fake life, right? No, it's a fake life. And the more you are out of residence, that's where your physical wellness starts to fall apart. There was a time period, and I was doing well with a lot of things. My YouTube channel was blowing up at the time, but there was in my immediate life, I wasn't really honestly being authentic 100%. And that's one of the things that kind of threw off my midsection, you constantly shove these downs, shove it down into your gut. All right, so you have to know this moving forward. This seems interesting to you, Dr. Gabor, right? Listen to Dr. Gabor. And when you're not living in authenticity, when you keep shoving things down, your soul is going to keep giving you the signs, keep giving you the symptoms until you say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm not going to tolerate people, things, and situations in my everyday life that are fake, or if I can't speak my truth, or if I can't live in my truth, I can't tolerate these things any longer. So on your journey, you have to realize that even though the journey is not a straight line, it's going to have the twists and turns. And you have to learn how to navigate. Okay, where are we going right now, right? No, what can you do? What are you in control of, and what are you not in control of, okay? There are things that I'm not in control of, but what I can be in control of is saying, I'm not going to tolerate this. I am not going to repeat the same mistake that I did in the past, okay? When God prunes your life, that's why I sit with God. When I go out to the beach, wherever it is that I go, I'm going to spend time and I'm going to listen very carefully, okay? You can't listen to the Word of God when you are dealing with stress. It could be at the workplace, from family, from friends, from a relationship that you have no business being in. Once you break free, okay, you wake up, you break free, and you say to yourself, I got into this job, I got into this situation prior to when I became awake and aware. I talk about the expansion of consciousness. Once you become conscious and aware, there is pain. And why is there pain? Because what was familiar and comfortable, you were numb to these things. You didn't realize it, especially for our men out there. They tell you to, shove things down. Don't be sensitive. We need to be sensitive. We need to realize that we have control. We have control of our response to the feelings that we are having. So how are we going to respond? Are we going to constantly hit that hot stove? We have these feelings. You could I'm numb to this, right? Oh, this is great. And then you're on that hot stove, and then you totally sear your hand. You make the damage even worse. So one of the things that we have to realize on our journey is that we need to be able to correctly respond and make changes and not repeat the same thing that we've done in the past. And it's not easy. It's not comfortable going through certain changes in our everyday life, but we have to think on our toes. We have to be prepared. Be prepared for whatever comes your way, because you think you might be going one way, and then you're going to have to make a detour. And nothing in life is going to be rosy, easy, simple. There are going to be times in our everyday life where we're going to have to switch it up, make changes, and do things that we never expected before. This is a time period of embracing it. You have to make these changes. Each and every one of us have the ability for greatness. If you like this content, please click the like button and click the subscribe button. We have daily videos 9 a.m. Eastern Time to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Comment down below. What will you do today to start creating a new reality. Tap into your true power and potential. Remember, a trip is planned, but your Uncle Mike is taking you on a journey, even if we're riding in the car. Where are we headed? Destination unknown. I love each and every one of you. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going.